Did you know that the single intention that you set up in your mornings has the power to change your whole reality, your whole life? Give me 25 minutes of your time and I'm going to explain to you exactly how. We are living in a day and age where everyone is trying to immediately get the gratification, immediately get the outcome, immediately get the result, and immediately move to their desired reality. While there is nothing particularly wrong with that, I want to speak today of the importance of the actual embodiment of what we are teaching, what we are learning, and what we are preaching. So there is this notion that is telling us that you should immediately want something. Even this day and age, everything is immediately available, right? We have the answers, we have the information, we have the navigation, we have the tutorials that we can learn something immediately, we can figure out something immediately, we can get the information, we can get the answers. It's never been as easy as it is today. That takes away from this human journey, it takes away from the actual integration process, from the actual time of us becoming who we came here to be, of actually embodying what we are doing and actually going through the seasons of life without this urgency. Because everything today is so urgent, is so fast forward. People don't even take their time anymore. And that is because we are so bombarded with so much information. We are so bombarded with this urgency, this urge to get more, to be more, to change everything, to become someone. And especially now, as we began a new year, there is this notion that kind of pushes us towards become someone new, change your life immediately. There are new programs, there are fitness programs, there are weight loss programs, there are all of these notions that are just pushing us towards the urgency. And what happens when we buy into this urgency? Then we burn out, right? Because we don't take the actual time for integration. We don't take the actual time for giving this spaciousness for us to actually integrate this information inside the body, inside of our nervous system. Because we are so operating in our mind on the how to, on the logistics, on the understanding. And there is nothing wrong with that in particular, like I'm saying, but it's more important than ever to actually give yourself this spaciousness. Give yourself the time for integration. Give yourself the time to slow down. Give yourself the time to actually savor the moment, to actually live the moment, to actually live your life instead of just running through it, instead of chasing the next goal, instead of chasing the next desire, instead of becoming someone else, instead of doing until one day you find yourself at the end of your lifetime perhaps, or before the end of your life, and realize I didn't even notice so many things, I didn't even savor so many things, I didn't even pay attention to so many important things along this journey, because I was so focused on becoming someone, or I'm becoming someone, chasing the next goal, chasing the next desire, chasing the next trend, that I lost myself and I didn't have time to do the things that really matter. I didn't have time to actually be present for my life. And then when you are looking back in your life, you're looking at the years and they run by. You don't even realize how they run by, because you didn't take time to savor the moment. You didn't give yourself time to do that. And I am pointing it out in this video because no one is gonna give that to you, right? This is something that we cannot actually get from someone. We can only create it for ourselves. We are the only ones in charge of scheduling that into our life, of actually taking the sweet time of paying attention. And whatever you pay attention to expands. So if you're giving your attention to the urgency, if you're giving attention to the gratification, if you're giving attention to the nonsense of today's world, if you're giving into the dopamine, you will get more of such experience. If you instead slow yourself down and pay attention to the little moments, savor those little moments, embody those moments, actually live those moments, actually connect with your body, then you will see and experience that the time has the tendency to kind of stretch and meet you where you are. If you slow down, the time seemingly slows down with you. If you're running around with urgency, the time runs with you. So this is how you use your attention and where you pay your attention. Because this is important, okay? Your attention is gonna immediately influence your experience in this world. You can notice it even in these little moments, like for example, when you are eating your meal, do you take time to sit down, savor the bite, savor the food, enjoy the food, properly chew the food, and immerse yourself in the actual activity of eating? Or are you putting on your favorite show? Are you numbing yourself while you're eating? Are you not even present for the meal? And this is just a little example of how you can put presence into your life, how you can actually make every single moment mean something. Because all these little moments are actually your life. There's a lot of huge breakthrough moments that we will go through throughout our life. But your life actually consists of these little moments that make up your day. How do you wake up in the morning? What is your ritual? How do you start your day? Do you jump out of the bed and start running around? Or do you take your time to actually ease into the day with mindfulness, with this sense of non-urgency? Or do you actually start running and chasing the day, and the whole day you feel like the day is running from you? Because I can tell you so many examples from my own life when I was living in this urgency mode. It was causing me a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety. And it's a funny story. While I was still in the high school, I used to oversleep every single day because I was a night owl and I was going to sleep very, very late. And obviously I couldn't get up with my alarm because I slept only 3 or 4 hours. It was a disaster. But every single day I woke up with this sense of, oh, I'm running late, I'm already late. Imagine this, waking up with this is your first thought, how you start your day. I'm already late. I need to run. I need to push. I don't have time. I need to urge myself. I need to run around. I am running late. And for the longest time, this was my life in high school. And it was horrible. Like, it was setting me up for such a horrible energy for the whole day, already feeling like I'm failing, like I'm falling behind, like I'm not on time. And I'm not saying now that if you are a morning person, you are setting yourself for success or anything like that. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter how you organize yourself in your day, but I'm talking about the intention behind it. If you wake up already feeling like you are behind, if you wake up already feeling like you have to run from the door, you don't even have time to drink your coffee or have your morning ritual, you are already setting yourself up for this running energy. That's the problem. And you can wake up, if you are not a morning person, you can wake up at 10 a.m. and still create that spaciousness in your day. So you schedule your meetings or your work is later or anything like that. So you have that proper time in the morning to set yourself up for success, to set yourself up for the opportunities, to take care of yourself, to check in with yourself, to start your day properly and honor your body, honor yourself. Take time with yourself. Don't rush through your life. This is to remind you that actually how you start your day matters. And I'm not here to tell you you have to wake up at 5 a.m. and start with 12 steps, morning ritual, whatever. No. This is absolutely not what I'm saying. But you have to start your day with intention. You have to start your day with spaciousness. You have to start your day to set yourself up for the energy that you want your day to be. Because if you set yourself up for the beginning of the day, how you start your day, and this might differ immensely from what you prefer to do, what you want to do. Some people will start with a workout. Some people will start with a podcast. Some people will start just drinking their coffee. Some people will start reading their book. It doesn't literally matter. It is completely and uniquely up to you. But you want to do something that sets you up for this energy and for the successful approach to your day. That's important. So it is not about that action. It is more about that intention, because you are in charge of your day. Even if you have a schedule, even if you are going to work at a certain time, you have the possibility of setting yourself up for how you want your day to be. And if you need to go to sleep earlier, so you wake up earlier, so you have time to actually do that, then perhaps that's what you have to do. So you have to organize your days in a way that they support you, because the energy matters and the intention behind that matters. And like I was saying to you, it actually affects your day so much. Because I know for myself, when I wake up, and some days I wake up grumpy, some days I don't feel like doing the things that I really need to do. But then I need to access my overall feelings, and I need to access what would support me better in that day and give myself the actual thing that I need for that day. Sometimes I'm thinking and talking to myself like I'm a little kid, right? Because I'm waking up grumpy and I'm like, okay, Deni, what is happening? Why are you grumpy? What is going on? Tell me, what do you need? What would you like to do today? How can I help you feel better? I'm literally a crazy person talking to myself, to my inner child, to figure out what is going on with myself. Because at the end of the day, we have this inside of us, right? And sometimes all it takes is this question to figure out what is actually going on, what is behind this, what do I need, what would make me feel better, boom. Then you figure it out, you do that, and wow, you're feeling much better. So don't be afraid of actually asking these questions to you, and don't be afraid of uncovering what is underneath, because that's all that it is. And wouldn't you want to figure that out and then have the opportunity to change it, instead of dragging yourself in that energy your whole day and then not knowing how to get out of it and getting into these mind spirals of negativity and whatnot. So if you have the opportunity to actually do that, then do that. It will help you immensely. And having conversations with you will help you so much, because you will uncover how do you feel, what would you like to do. Because instead of getting into these moods and getting into these strange feelings and spirals, you will actually have the conversation and you will uncover what is underneath. And then you can move from there. Then you can do things to help yourself. It's like you're having a relationship with your own self. In a way, you do. You absolutely do. We all do. So how can you approach that relationship? You communicate, you show up for yourself, you take care of yourself, and you give yourself what is missing. And you also hold yourself accountable, okay? That's very important as well. Because if you're only gonna listen to that inner child who wants to just play or just enjoy or explore or anything like that, then obviously that is not gonna help us achieve our goals. We also need to have that adult self there to say, okay, now I gave you this and now it's time to do some actual work. Now it's time to hold you accountable for what you said you're gonna do. You said you're gonna do this, so let's go and do that. Let's take care of that. It took me so long to actually figure this out, and now I feel like this is like a second nature, and it is so important, and I feel like every single human being, adult or not, should do that, right? Take yourself and relate to yourself as if you are in a relationship with yourself. Because then you get to know yourself. Then you literally know what to do. You will figure it out and you will feel accomplished. It is very simple actually. We forgot that all of us have this inside of us. All of us have these special needs and requirements and desires and all of that. And if we don't take time to get to know ourselves, to understand ourselves, we're gonna end up going through life without this knowledge and actually wasting all these opportunities that could give us so much, that could give us so much fulfillment. But we didn't take time to actually understand that. We didn't take time to actually know what it is. And that's why so many people find themselves in the midlife crisis or whatnot, however you want to call it, when they figure out, I lived this whole life and it is not actually what I desired. It is not actually what I wanted. It was the programming, it was the conditioning, and it was the societal pressure that was pushing me to do certain things. But instead, if I took my time to actually get to know myself, to actually understand what I want, to actually uncover what I want under all this programming, under all this conditioning, and all of this noise, to get quiet and to get understanding of what it is that I want. And even if it's completely different from what the society is telling me, and I would take my time and I would take the effort to follow it regardless, I would avoid all these things happening to me. I would avoid this crisis and I would avoid living a life that doesn't even feel like mine. Because that's the whole thing, right? Because we come here and we are trying to find all this purpose, all this meaning, all this knowing what this life is even about. And yet we are listening, we are trying to find the information, we are trying to find the answer for everyone around us, from the next guru, from the next influencer, from the next person who seems to know what it is, instead of actually looking inside and actually paying attention to what our inner child is telling us, because that is the truth, that is the inner knowing. We are coming back to the truth that has been revealed to us from the very beginning, perhaps, but obviously we couldn't pay attention to that. Obviously we have been programmed and conditioned from the people and our environment around us, so we could not possibly keep that. But that's the whole journey, that when we become adults, we have the possibility, and we actually, I feel like we have the responsibility of getting back to that and uncovering what is it that actually excited us, what it is that actually mattered to us, what it is that we actually have been all this time. We just need to peel the layers and get back to the inner truth. Without the conditioning, without the programming, without all this noise that is coming to us left and right. And like I'm saying, in today's world it's even harder to get quiet, because there is so many things bombarding us left and right. So much things are trying to get our attention, and our attention is limited, right? We cannot pay attention to too many things without getting distracted. So we are getting distracted on the daily, and that's the whole point. You are getting distracted from your own knowing, from your own inner truth, from your own guidance that we all came here with. We all have this guidance, and it is very, very intelligent for each of us. But we cannot access it unless we start paying attention. We cannot access it and we cannot move from it unless we slow down, unless we start paying attention to the right thing, unless we start taking time to actually build this for ourselves, right? And that's why I was mentioning how you approach your day, how you approach your start of the day, how you put your intentions for the start of the day. All of that matters, because it's building momentum, it's building, it's connecting, and it's building literally your life. And it might sound a bit too overwhelming, but like I'm saying, literally your life is built for the small moments, for the small choices. Every single moment in time, you have choices and you have options. How your life is going to be. Quite literally, in every single second. I want you to let that sink in. Every single second, you have the opportunity to quite literally to change the trajectory of your life. quite literally. Because in every single moment, it is now, it is the present, and you can decide to do something, or you can decide to not to do something. You can decide to pay attention to something, or you can decide not to pay attention to something. All of these things matters, and they matter so much more than we have been taught and we have been conditioned. And quite literally, you have the opportunity to step into a new reality, to step into a new timeline, and to literally act from that in every single moment. I want you to really let this seep in, because it is huge. It is huge. You just need to understand the power that you have. And in every single moment, in the split of a second, you can decide to choose differently, or you can decide to remain in the same situation, or you can decide completely differently. There is so many options, so many realities, so many timelines that you can step into, only if you decide, okay? So your decision and your attention is the utmost important thing that you can ever put forward, right? So I want you to start paying attention. I don't want to overwhelm you guys, but it is absolutely crucial that you have this understanding of your own power and of your attention, of your decision, and of your intention, because all of these things are together creating your life. They're creating your reality. And every single day, every single moment, every single hour, you have the opportunity to take the reins of your life, take the reins of what you can do, how you can see things, differently, what is your perception, and how you are viewing your own life. And that's gonna help you to embody the life that you want, because you can do that in every second of the time.